Well, 90 years ago, there was a U of L doctor named Barnett Owen, orthopedic specialist, who taught at the only medical school in the state of Kentucky, which that was at University of Louisville. And he realized there was a gap in service, a deficiency in what had been provided for children who had special needs. It may have been bilateral club feet or any number of things which I have a hard time pronouncing. But he went to Worth Bingham, Barry Bingham Sr.'s father, and others and said, what we need in this community and in this state is a unique facility that currently does not exist, and it will deal with the long-term needs, multi-operational needs of kids who've been born specially blessed. Different than what you or I would want for my child, different in ways that are physical and also have psychological issues as well. So $10,000 was put together and this campus was purchased. $50,000 had to be raised beyond that to make this the Kosair Crippled Children's Hospital, a home for children from all over the state. And they came from all over the state. Frontier Nursing helped bring them in from the hills of Kentucky. There's a story of children who would be floated down on rafts because of spring floods, and it was the only way they could be brought from their homes. There's stories of people thinking it was the act of God that the child was crippled and had to be drugged on a door, once a month taken to town on a door, strapped onto it. But the Frontier Nursing and other people persuaded those people to bring them to a new home, the Kosair Crippled Children's Hospital, where they would be loved and cared for. Kosair Charities has always been there. We owned and operated Kosair Crippled Children's Hospital. Every year since it opened, we've had to raise money to sustain its effort. What we've done in 90 years, it's changed. Fortunately, medical care for children has changed. Prenatal care for children has changed. A lot of things have changed. But what has happened is we haven't changed. Kosair Charities still loves children. Kosair Charities then, Kosair Charities today, and tomorrow will be helping thousands of Kosair kids from hometowns throughout this region. Today we've got a fast program we're going to go through. We've got a lot of busy people here today and a lot of important ones. We're going to recognize just a few of them, then turn the program over to our board chairman. And I'm sorry if I don't get all the titles correct, and I'm sorry if I don't get all the names correct. There's a lot of great people here. Just going to name a few of the highlights. Now I said that our first partner, or maybe I didn't, but I'll say that again if I didn't, our first partner was the University of Louisville School of Medicine. So I'm going to recognize some of them who are not having speaking roles today. One of them is Dr. Melissa Curry from the Pediatric Forensic Division. She is chief of that division. Many of you in the medical business have heard of her. She is fantastic, one of the few experts with a leading light in dealing with child abuse, prevention of same. Dr. Brad Keller, who's on the front row, Cardiovascular Innovation Institute. Don't quite have all of Brad's titles, except if you're thinking about what makes a difference for children with hearts, look to Brad. We've also got with us one of my favorite people, and that's Sis Grubel. Sis, just raise a hand if you would. Sis is the chief of nursing at Kosair Children's Hospital and a whole bunch of other things. And if I've always said to me, that's where the action is. It's the nursing people and the allied professionals, and Sis leads a tremendous team at Kosair Children's, which has been our partner for, gosh, 30 years now. When we closed our hospital, we combined with them, took our 100 beds that were Kosair Crippled Children's Hospital, combined with the old Children's, to create Kosair Children's Hospital. And of course, we've now pledged, what, $200 million? Starts to add up after a while, doesn't it? To help the Kosair kids in the hospital, being the largest independent donor that they have. Let's see, Jeff Lilly, Director of Finance, Vice President of Finance. He knows what that money means. He tells me, send the money. We need more money to help these kids. We're happy to do it. Two of our good friends, Mary Newby, Carrie Shane, they're here today. A lot of people here from a lot of different organizations, and if I've left anybody out, I sure don't mean to, but gosh, I could go on all day, and I won't. And you're relieved. All right, well, next person up to speak to you is going to be the chairman of our board. You know, we have a large board of directors, and it's an active, engaged board of directors. And I'll say something for Jerry because he doesn't like to talk about himself. Jerry has led the way in us being involved in more and more organizations. He's led the way in us not only giving of our talent and our treasure, but also the time. Do you know 12 of our board members are currently serving on the boards of other organizations that help Kosair kids? And every one of those individuals pays whatever those other board members would pay. For instance, if the other board members on a group pay $1,000, our man pays $1,000. Doesn't get reimbursed, but he's there to be an ambassador for us and to learn more about what's important in this community. So ladies and gentlemen, the leader of our effort to help Kosair kids, Jerry Ward.
Good morning. We're very proud and honored to be here to celebrate 90 years Kosair Charities meeting the medical needs of children in our Kentucky and area. And at this time, I'd like to turn the podium over to the mayor. Randy is a very hard act to follow. He says everything, so we can shortcut this. But anyway, Mayor.
Thank you, Jerry. I think he just took it to a new level when they said follow the 5 B's. It's be brief, brother, be brief. So well done there. No, thanks, everybody, for what you all have done with Kosair and this 90th anniversary. It is a really tremendous group we have in our community, and I'll talk a little bit about the values here in a second. Last week, I was in Washington for most of the week, and it was just a swirl of activity. Everybody preparing for the inauguration yesterday, but the U.S. Conference of Mayors had their meetings going on. The Brookings Institution were involved with that in panel discussions. The president came out with, obviously, with his gun safety initiative. We had the Republicans talking, the Democrats talking, the independents talking. And so it really made me reflect for a minute on, what is the common strain that's going on in the country, and that it comes back to cities like ours. And I think the common element here is citizenship. And we might all see the world a little different way, but we all love our country, and we all love our city and our neighborhoods, and certainly our kids are the fundamental rallying point for everything that we do. And when I interact with Kosair, I think about sometimes the earliest days of citizenship and this concept of being a citizen soldier. And so I'm married to a Greek, Alexandra Gerasimides, and she frequently reminds me that the Greeks were the origin of almost all things civilized. And democracy is one of those practices that they were the first people to come out with. And one of the traits or elements of being a citizen in Athens was you needed to be what they called a citizen soldier. In other words, you couldn't just be a freeloader. You couldn't just pay your taxes and said that's what all you do. You had to step up and you had to contribute to making the city-state a better place, either through office or through volunteer work. And I can think of no higher example of citizen soldiers, of people that step up for our community time and time again than the good people at Kosair Charities. And the way they do it is so inspiring to me, and I know I'm speaking to the choir here, but when Kosair Charities and Jerry and Randy and all the brothers and sisters here step up, they do so with such humility. And it's like they have a gift to help all of these other folks that they're out with in the community. And I can tell you, I get to see a lot of people do nice things for the community. Dr. Ramsey does as well. And no one, in my opinion, does it with the style and the grace and the confidence of Kosair Charities. And to me, that's what it's all about. When you can help other people and do it in such a selfless way, in a way that's going to keep giving as well. I think it inspires a lot of people in our community. We talk about Louisville being a city of great compassion. We've been recognized that for internationally for compassion as well, and I think Kosair Charities just epitomizes that for us, and I'm just really proud to be associated with you all and in a city that houses Kosair Charities here. The numbers are astonishing. In the last 28 years, since Kosair instituted its Gifts and Grants program, they've donated almost $350 million to local charities and nonprofits. And of course, the beautiful thing is, it's just going to keep giving, time after time. I don't know how you guys do it, but it's going to keep coming on in the community. So that's one of those things that you're going to look forward to, another fantastic Kosair announcement, and it's always about the kids. You know, a lot of people, when they're in education, when they're in healthcare, whatever, they say it's all about the kids. And for some folks, it's really true, and it's really deep, and it's burned into their core. With Kosair Charities, there is absolutely no question about that. So the city has been a great partner with Kosair over the years. We're looking forward to the next, I guess, 10 years. We'll be having our centennial celebration, and then another 90 years past that. So on behalf of the whole city, I just want to say thank you so much for what you guys have been doing under great leadership now and all the 90 years as well here at Kosair Charities. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry I've got to go. Thank you.
Do we want to do the unveiling? Mayor, before you walk off, can you help us unveil our new logo?
Sure.
Drum roll, please.